Hello, my name is Peggy Matheson. Thanks for joining me today, and I want to thank Elaine for putting this together. This is really great, and I have a little fun fact to tell you about Elaine. She actually is my niece. And so this has been really great. I love what her ideas, her innovation, her creativity, her inspiration. So thank you, Elaine. I'm really happy to be here. And thank you for being here. So what I'm going to share with you today, I'll tell you a little bit about me in a minute, but I want to give you a little peek what we're going to do. We're going to give you a little tool that you can actually adapt in different situations, but it's going to be about how you talk to yourself, okay? And it's based on some really great principles, so I'll share that with you in a minute. And you're going to come away with feeling more confident, be able to feel more at peace. It's going to give you some insights about you and the voices in your head. So let me tell you a little bit about me. As I said, my name is Peggy Matheson, and I am a certified journey practitioner. And what that means is I work with individuals. I also work in groups to help people come to the peace and joy that they were meant to live in their life. And the way that I do that is through these incredible process work where we speak to the non-conscious mind in the language of the non-conscious so that it actually gets through and it clears things at the root, and just kind of things start to fall away. Things that aren't true to who you really are start to fall away. So I really love what I do. It just has brought me so much joy in my life. So I'm going to share this tool with you. Let me just kind of preface it by saying that we have a part of us that's kind of what we call an observing ego. Now that's a psychological term, and the observing ego is the part of us that kind of watches us say things. It also, watches us as we cry. It watches all the things that go along with it, and it's the part that helps us to. If we can tap into that part while things are going on in our mind and our emotions, it's going to really help us to be able to center, and it's going to give us some insight. So let me tell you that our thoughts are energy and our emotions are energy. So I know that this is an energy kind of introduction to energy work. Well, the energy work that I do is working with your thoughts and working with your emotions. It's not about pushing them away. It's not about saying, I don't want to think that. I don't want to do that, even though we have times to do that. But what I'm going to teach you about is a process where you have compassion on those parts of yourself, the part that's distressed, the part that is maybe speaking ill of you. Let me give you an example. So sometimes at night I have a hard time sleeping. Does anyone else have a hard time sleeping at night? Well, I think everybody does at certain points, especially if you're under a lot of stress or you're worried about something. So often what I will find myself doing is if I can't sleep, I'm like, what is going on? I start saying, what's going on? And so this process, I like to call it the chair process. That's one way you can call it, or you can call it the mean girl process is one of my favorites, because often I'll find myself in fear or anger at myself. And so it's the mean girl speaking in my head. So this is what you do. You imagine in your head that there's a chair in your mind's eye. You might close your eyes so you can kind of see it or picture it or imagine it. And then put that part of you that has something to say to you in that chair. And tap into your feelings, like what are you feeling in the moment? Like at night if you can't sleep, oh, I'm worried, I'm fearful. Well, what does that part want to say? So then in the chair you put that part and let them speak. And this is how it goes. Your observing ego will say, well, just listen. And that part of you might say, I'm so scared. And then the observing ego says, thank you. And what else? And you just let them speak, like one sentence at a time. Oh, I'm really worried about finances right now. Thank you. And what else? But what if we lose the house? Thank you. And what else? Oh, you've just done this to us because you have never been able to make enough money. Thank you. And what else? And I'm so mad at you because, and you go on, or I'm so angry and I'm, you just let it come out. You just let it come out. But this part of you, the observing ego, is going to just say, all it says is, thank you. And what else? Thank you. And what else? Thank you. And what else? And sometimes it'll just be like seconds. Sometimes it'll just be a couple of minutes. A while back, I had an interaction with my husband and it stressed me out. I was really upset and I went on a walk and I started doing this. I actually started saying it out loud. You can just do this in your head or you can say it out loud. So I started doing this process and pretty soon I was going through the anger and then I started to cry and then I realized it was a little girl inside of me and she was like, I messed it up. And then I went through this whole thing where I discovered there was a part of myself that was really scared that I needed to love and take care of. And it was just this great awakening in me. And that's what you can do when you start listening to yourself. You start to get really connected and it's self-love and compassion. So this is the process. It's super simple. Put the part of you that's disturbed or upset and feel where it's coming from in your body. Feel that feeling. It might be in your heart, your stomach, wherever, maybe your hands, maybe you're angry, and tap into that and then put that part of you in a chair and just let them speak. Let them speak out one sentence at a time and just say thank you and what else, thank you and what else, and just allow it to move through. And for me, I end up in a place of peace and I usually fall asleep. Just kind of because I've accepted it, I've listened to that part of myself and I've learned something, but more than that, I've just had compassion. So that's the energy we're talking about. That's an energy shift by allowing yourself to understand and hear what's going on with your emotions and your thinking. So the mean girl process, you can call it the chair process, whatever. So here's my challenge to you. I want you in the next 24 hours to consciously find a moment where you might have that, where a feeling comes up. Maybe you're afraid, maybe you're anxious, maybe you're stressed with your kids or maybe at work or something. And just give that part of you an opportunity to speak. Maybe go in the bathroom if you're not in a private place, or do it later on at night. Give yourself the intention to do it later that night, because usually it sticks with you. Usually you haven't moved through it, so you will have that charge inside of you that you can do that. And I hope that this helps you to find some more compassion and love for yourself. And it's just a really great tool, one of my favorites. So again, I'm a journey practitioner. I have been working for 10 years doing this. My husband's a psychotherapist. We actually have a business together, personal development business that's with relationship tools, but I do individual work. And I love the spiritual depth and connection that happens within each person that I work with through this process work. So you can find out more about me and working with me, which I would love. Or if you have any questions, you can connect with me on Facebook here, or you can connect with me at becomingoneworkshop.com /coaching/with-Peggy, and I'll put it on the screen so you'll have it. So would love to work with you. Thanks for listening. Sorry I'm so casual. I think I said that because we're moving. So we're moving next week. So it's a busy time, but thanks for joining me. Thanks a lot. And I hope you enjoyed this and ask any questions because I'd love to answer them. You have a great day. Bye-bye.